There. Is that better? Okay, we can hear you now. Okay, that's good, that's good. Is this the second time this happened? Make that 3, okay? I'm doing just fine. I just want to make sure there is no issues on the live stream. Also, I thought it'd be a good idea if I played some music in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear the music. Did you wear a shirt for the FNAF movie? I wore a hoodie, but I will get to that in like a minute because I haven't begun the non-spoiler review yet. So hang on, I just gotta make sure we're all good. Okay. Welcome back to HAZAH Talk Live. So it's been like 3 days since the Five Nights at Freddy's movie has came out, and I will say with confidence that this movie was amazing, and I had a really great time with it. So, we are here today. I'm going to be reviewing the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, both spoiler and non-spoiler. But, right now, we're going to the non-spoilers. So, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you guys. At least not yet. Because we're not there yet. Just going to look at the chat before we get started. I can hear the music. That's good. How'd you like the FNAF movie? I'm going to get to that. Okay. Encoding overload. Fantastic! Thank you, OBS, for that. Will you do a review with Andrew? Unfortunately, no, it's because Andrew still hasn't seen the FNAF movie yet. He's seeing it tomorrow, I think. He hasn't seen it yet. So, it's just me for this. Unless I'm in a live stream Discord call. In case they want to join in. But I'm going to save that for later. Right now, it's going to be just me. I can't wait to see it tomorrow. So I'm hanging out here until the spoiler section. Okay, well, I guess I might as well get to the non-spoiler section. So, first, the experience. Like, oh my god, like, the experience was awesome. Like, we went to that theater early. Like, my whole theater show for Five Nights at Freddy's was sold out. It was sold out. Like, so many people wanted to see this movie in theaters. It was insane. Like, when we arrived in that theater, like, I saw, like, a couple of people wearing FNAF merch. Like, a Freddy Fazbear beanie. Some kid was wearing a Monty Gator mask. And, I saw one kid playing Five Nights at Freddy's on his phone. That was pretty funny. And then I saw one guy wearing a Paper Foxy mask. So it seems like we have a lot of FNAF fans, as well as some non-FNAF fans as well. Yeah. And oh my god, like, as soon as the movie started playing, like, my heart was pounding. Like I was nervous, and my heart was pounding like crazy. Like, I'm gonna say this right now, this is my official second time seeing a horror movie at a movie theater. The first time I saw was, It Chapter 2 in 2019, but, I mean, that's because I normally don't see horror movies in movie theaters. I got to see the FNAF movie a day early. Nice. Must be, like, early previews or something. Anyway, what do you think of the movie? I'm going to get to that. Okay. Now, what I think of the movie, it was great. It was amazing. And I had a blast. Like, continuing the experience talk, like, there were some moments that my theater blew up. My theater blew up. Like, they were applauding, they were clapping, they were screaming. It was... You guys should have seen it. It was insane. I'm pretty sure there's, like, audience reactions up on YouTube somewhere, but my theater was no different. I even have two brothers who work there. Even they didn't know it would be this big. Unless some of you guys watch it on Peacock. So yeah, I guess that's it for my experience. So, hang on, let me turn it down a little bit. I have to make sure this is on loop. It is on loop. So I guess the best way to review this movie without spoiling, let's talk about the cast. Matthew Lillard, he was great as William Afton. He delivered his performances perfectly. Like every time I see him on screen, I just get chills. And like I was even shaking in excitement in my seat. It was really cool. Josh Hutcherson, he did really good. I mean, at first I didn't know who he was. I mean, I only know him from Hunger Games, and turns out he voiced Hero Boy in the Polar Express, and he was also that one kid in Zathura. I remember those movies, but I never seen Hunger Games. I mean, my folks have seen Hunger Games, but I never saw the movie myself. But I do know who Josh Hutcherson is. Is there anything you didn't like about the FNAF movie? Well, I mean, I would get into that, but it would contain spoilers. And I'm not at the spoiler section yet. Piper Rubio, she did really good. Her performances were pretty good, and her character, Abby, and she did act like a little brat at first, but then it grew on me the more the movie progressed. So yeah. Elizabeth Leo as Vanessa, I was a bit iffy on her character, but I'm not gonna get into that. I will say that I was a bit iffy on that. So yeah. Mary Stuart Masterson, is that how I say her name? Who played Aunt Jane? Well, her performance was great. It was good. I didn't like her character, but I'm not gonna say anything until we get there. I think the cast members did a really good job on the movie. Now, the Jim Henson Creature Shop, we gotta talk about them next. They did awesome with the animatronics. Like, Jim Henson Creature Shop did amazing. Like, Kevin Foster, Jay Kinder Martin, and Jess Wise, they did amazing in the suits. Yeah, it turns out they were suit performers, and yeah, they were suit performers. But the designs were one-to-one with the games, which is great. And, yeah. They were great. And the music was pretty good. Pretty catchy, too, especially, like, okay, no, I can't really say that, because I'm not the I said this a lot! Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna look at the chat again. It's good, you had a great time. Do you think it should deserve a sequel? Yes, I definitely want a sequel to be made. So people don't talk about the Pooh ripoff? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? That movie sucked! It really sucked. What did you think of the cameos? I can't talk about that yet. Because it's spoilers. I might as well talk about the visuals. The visuals were pretty nice. I mean, the whole pizzeria was in like a sound booth, while the other locations are like real locations, like outside. And there's that whole facade of the actual Freddy Fazbear's Pizza building. So, yeah, the crew members did a really good job, especially the set designer, Mark, according to Daco's vlog. Yeah, he did really good. Okay, I think that's it for non-spoilers. Did I miss anything? Because there wasn't really that much to talk about non-spoilers. Oh, the story. I forgot the story. I say the story was good. I mean, there were some parts of the story I was a little iffy about. Like, there were some parts of the story that I got confused and got iffy about, but I'll get to that later. But all in all, the story was really good. It even had some cute moments, too, which I will get to. So yeah, I guess that's it for non-spoilers. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say without spoiling the movie. So, guys, I'm about to go full spoiler mode. So, if you haven't seen the FNAF movie yet, click off now. Unless people don't care about spoilers, they just want to hear the movie. So, I'll give you a few minutes. I think the people who haven't seen the movie had left. No spoiler. Well then, okay, if you don't want to hear spoilers, then click off. Because this is both a non-spoiler and spoiler review. Alright, okay, see ya, Laurel. Well, I see it, so I'm good. Alright, that's good. Alright, I guess we're ready to go dive right into spoilers. So, Again, if you haven't seen the FNAF movie yet, click off. If you've already seen the FNAF movie, then stick around. But if people don't care about spoilers, then also stick around. Okay, hang on. Let me switch. There we go. Okay, I'm at the other side of the office with another slideshow of posters. So, the spoilers. So, it had a really intense opening. Like, with the first security guard. Like, he tried to escape the animatronics through a vent, but of course one gets him. I'm pretty sure the first animatronic that gets him was Foxy, because I heard him singing. And the Torture Freddy machine, like, I will admit, I was a little bit scared to see that scene. Like, the way he was screaming while the mask was getting closer to his face. Oh, like, my heart was pounding like crazy. And I'm honestly glad to cut right to the opening credits before the mask even hit him. So, yeah, or I mean, unless there was like there's an R-rated version of it, or maybe a deleted scene, or I don't know. Yeah, that part was intense. I'm going to Gamer. I'm going to the movie in order before we get to the very end. I'm not skipping right to the end. Kellen recreating the Foxy song was peak. Yes, Kellen Goff voiced Foxy in the movie. I will admit, there's one thing I'm a little bit disappointed about, is that the animatronics do not talk. I kind of wish they did, but then again, where would the creep factor go if they did speak? I mean, I already did a YouTube short where I voiced Bonnie in the FNAF movie. Not real though. It's something I wanted to do for fun. So yeah. So, we get a little bit of Mike Schmidt's story. It turns out he was taking sleeping pills to have the same dream, so he could figure out who took his little brother Garrett. Which, I mean, my brother thought it was a bad example of kids taking a lot of sleeping pills just to have the same dream. I didn't like that part either. We get to Abby, so apparently she has a mental problem where she's talking to the things that don't exist, and she's constantly drawing some pictures of her imaginary friends. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having imaginary friends, at least when you're a kid. But when you're an adult, probably. Mike doing Dream Theory. Yes, Dream Theory is a book, and it's also based off the controversial theory of FNAF. All the games were all just a dream, and none of that happened. Yeah, good old Matt Pat. So we get to Mike's job, which he's a security guard at a mall, and we already get some FNAF World Easter eggs with the Chica's Magic Rainbow and an ice cream parlor. I can tell a lot of people got like, oh no, not the rainbow. I mean, I'm not too annoyed because the rainbow wasn't actually insulting us. Yeah. And then I guess Mike loses his job because he misunderstood someone kidnapping a kid, and he beat him up in a fountain. I mean, we did see that leak filming set, like, earlier this year. And then we finally get introduced to Steve Raglan, or also known as William Afton. Now, before we move on, there's one thing I was a little concerned about, like, you know, like, people were all going crazy, making theories that Michael Afton is Mike Schmidt in the movie. Well, at first, like, when Steve, or, I mean, William says Mike Schmidt, like he was right about to say Schmidt, until like he froze. I bet some people were like, oh crap, is that Michael Afton? Well, I'm pretty spoiler alert, I was right. It's not Michael Afton at all. It's not Michael Afton. Anyways, so he offered him a job at Freddy Fazbear's, but I mean Mike declines because he doesn't want to work nights because he has to take care of his little sister Abby. And then Aunt Jane, like, she was the unnamed villain for the FNAF movie. Well, it turns out it's Aunt Jane. Like people thought that she was working for William Afton or she was Mrs. Afton. Well, that ended up not being true at all. Like, she was one of those characters who want to take custody of Abby or his sister. Yeah, she wanted to take Abby in her custody because Mike wasn't fit to be a parent. I mean, from what I heard, I think Mike said that Aunt Jane doesn't really care about Abby and she wants money. So, hang on, is that right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. If anyone could get a clear idea of why Aunt Jane wants to take custody of Abby. Because I know Mike said that Aunt Jane doesn't care about her. I believe so. Yeah. Who's your favorite character for FNAF? You're looking at him. Bonnie. He's my favorite. You guys should know that by now. For money. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that woman at all. When her scenes comes up. Yeah. Aunt Jane, aka the character to pad out the runtime. Yeah, a lot of people hated Aunt Jane. So yeah, Mike actually decided to change his mind and actually work at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. So he goes in, and then we also hear William talk about the backstory of how Freddy Fazbear's Pizza shut down. And I guess you could say he's like phone guy. He even said, "See you on the flip side." And then we get a scene of Mike watching the security training tape. I mean, I kind of wish they included the showtime from the teaser trailer. I don't know why they cut it out. I was a little disappointed by that. Hopefully in some deleted scenes we get to see that. So yeah, Mike falls asleep on the job because he took those pills. And then we get introduced to the 5 dead children. Like the child for Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Like at first Mike was like, oh, actually, I didn't get a chance to talk about the dream sequence. So, Mike, he was young. They were on a camping trip with his family and his brother Garrett. They were about to have their burgers, and then Mike's mom spilled some Coke. And then she tells him to go watch his brother, and then Mike sees someone taking Garrett in a car, like legit kidnapping. And then the second dream sequence, the same thing happens, except now Mike sees the dead children. But then when he tries to ask for help, they run away. So, yeah, the first night, nothing happens at all. Like, night 1 doesn't... The animatronics don't attack right away. Night 2, though. Like, it was a dark, stormy night. We kind of get a small attack from Foxy. Like, Mike attempts to chase the Foxy kid, but then when he grabs him, he, like, slashes him with his hook. When really, Foxy slashed him while Mike was sleeping on the job. And then we get introduced to Vanessa. Yeah, Elizabeth Lale's Vanessa. And, yeah. I will admit, like, the part where the Foxy kid jump scares Mike with black tears coming out of his eyes, that part was creepy. Oh! Did I forget to mention? Frickin' Balloon Boy! Mike opened the locker, and then Balloon Boy... A figurine of Balloon Boy jump scares him. I completely forgot about that. Frickin' Balloon Boy. You forgot about Balloon Boy. I know I did. I just said it just now. Balloon Boy showed up. I mean, like I said, guys, it's already been 3 days since I saw the FNAF movie, so I don't remember most of it. So I'm trying my best to remember most as possible. Oh yeah, Doggo, 8-Bit Ryan, Razbowski, Baz, and Fusion were in the Employee of the Month. Okay, I will get to MatPat here in a bit. Anyway, so the part where Vanessa introduces Mike to the animatronics with Showtime, like the Romantics talking in your sleep plays instead of like an actual Freddy Fazbear song, you know, like, 'cause it's Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I mean, I could be a little forgiving towards it because if you put it that way, it kind of relates to Mike's situation because he's constantly sleeping on the job, and then the animatronic's like, oh, I know the secrets that you keep when you talk in your sleep, you know, about Garrett and all that. God dang Balloon Boy, he ruins my life. He ruins everyone's lives, he's annoying. Eye is itchy. So we get a diner scene with Aunt Jane and Max and Jeff. And we get a big cameo from MatPat. I mean, at first I didn't know it was I didn't know it was MatPat at first until I saw his face, and then he said, like, well, you never know, but it's just a theory. Like, oh my god. How many of you how many of your theaters blew up when MatPat showed up? I think a couple of people did. The animatronics kinda can talk. Well, I mean, not their, like, child forms. And no, not the Romantics Talking in Your Sleep song. That doesn't count. That's a copyright song. Yes, I was aware Markiplier was going to make a cameo in the movie, but they couldn't because of filming schedules. Because he was filming The Iron Lung. What about Cassidy? I mean, the children's spirits are not named, so I'm going to assume that kid with the brown shirt and blonde hair, that was Cassidy? I don't know. I didn't watch it in theaters. Oh yeah, some people saw it on Peacock. Don't forget the name of the restaurant. Oh, right! Sparky's Diner. Sparky was a hoax character where Sparky the dog was hiding in the parts of service room, and a lot of people thought it was real. Like, oh my god. It's insane Scott decided to include that. Oh, my eyes itchy. Okay, anyway, so we get the vandalism scene. Like, we get the scene where Max, Jeff, Hank, and Carl are vandalizing the place. And then we actually start to get some kills for the FNAF movie. So Carl gets his face eaten alive by a cupcake. The freaking cupcake was funny. I mean, it wasn't scary, but it was funny. Cupcake. And Hank saw Chica watching Carl get killed by the cupcake. But instead of Hank going in to help him, he just bolts. He bolted it out. He ran away. Which is kind of a dumb move. Don't leave your friends to die. Go help them. Jeff was about to destroy Mike's security equipment, but then he saw Hank hide in the supply closet. Of course, Bonnie was waiting for him. And then, I don't know how Bonnie died, but I'm going to assume he snapped his neck, or he slit his, or he bit his throat, or frontal lobe. I don't know how Bonnie killed him. I'm getting to that part. I'm gonna get to that part. And then we get a pretty funny scene where Chica lowers the cupcake to a vent. Like, you know that scene from the trailer where Cupcake was missing off of Chica's plate? Yeah, it turns out Chica sent her cupcake in the vent to get her victims. I mean, at first I thought there was going to be a vent chase scene with the cupcake with Mike in the vent, but I guess I was wrong about that. Fortunately, Jeff was able to prevent the cupcake from getting him, but of course when he left the office, Foxy is waiting for him, and we get to hear the FNAF 1 scream. Although that is the only time we get to hear the FNAF 1 scream. One time. Bonnie beamed to death with his guitar. Did he? I don't know if he did. Is the movie coming to DVD? Obviously it is. It's coming to DVD and Blu-ray. But I don't know when, but I'm going to bet it's going to come out sometime around the holidays. Because the Super Mario Bros. Movie didn't come out on Blu-ray until like 3 months after its release. So Max finds out that Jeff, Hank, and Carl are missing, so he went into the pizzeria. He found the Freddy kid, lure her to the basement, and then he dragged Max in, and then he chomped her in half. When I first saw that, I was like, was that the bite of 87? The freaking memes, man. The memes. So, Vanessa ended up finding out that thugs have broken into the pizzeria. She criticized Mike, and then they decided to have a talk. We did get a bit of backstory about him and Garrett. So, I guess after Garrett went missing, his mom died. Either she committed suicide, or I really don't know how she died. I don't know about Mike's dad, though. Like I said, the story's a little confusing and complicated. I will say that. So, since Mike finds out that Max isn't responding to his call because, you know, she's dead, Mike took Abby with him. So, they set up like a little tent in Mike's office. Like, Abby fell asleep. We get another dream sequence of, like, the Golden Freddy kid drawing Spring Bonnie onto the dirt. Like he's like, hey, can you help me find the man who killed my brother? And then the Golden Freddy kid, I'm just gonna call him Cassidy, because that's the only Golden Freddy kid I know besides Evan Afton. Like, he was like, if we show you, what will you give us? And then he was like, anything. I'll get to that part later. So, Abby screams, and then when Mike check out, turns out the animatronics were just playing with Abby. We get the most cutest scene ever. Not only like Abby introduced Mike to the animatronics, but Abby drew a heart and gave it to Bonnie. That was the most wholesome thing I ever seen. I love that part. I really love that part. No wonder Bonnie's my favorite. They gave Bonnie a heart. Why does the animatronics want Abby? I already know why, but I'm gonna get to that in a bit. Yeah, so Abby gave Bonnie a heart. They were about to go home. Abby was able to get a hug from Freddy, which is nice. So Mike ends up finding out that the dead kids are able to communicate with her. I guess that's part of her mental illness. Like her friends are the dead kids, aka the animatronics. Like, she draws pictures of events that happened. Like, she even drew the event when Garrett got taken. And she even drew the kids that Mike saw. So, Mike wanted to have Abby ask them who took Garrett. So they returned to the pizzeria. Vanessa was there. And we get the most cutest and funny scenes of this movie. Like, they decide to build a fort out of the tables and chairs. I love the part where Bonnie was just falling down, like, and then when Abby says, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And then he just gives a thumbs up. That part was funny. I don't know why, like the scene where everyone was laying under the fort, even when the animatronics were joining the fun, it was so damn cute. I loved it. So Mike and Vanessa went to the back to get like a tablecloth to cover the roof. And then we get a Springlock suit. But the Springlock suit is Ella from the books, which I thought was a nice Easter egg. They included some elements from the books and the games. Yeah. But apparently Mike, or no, not Mike, Vanessa doesn't want Mike to bring Abby back here because we'll get to that. So Abby gets electrocuted from Bonnie's guitar after it glitched out. And then Vanessa gets a little aggressive, like she's like, "If you bring her here again, I will shoot you." Like, damn, Vanessa. So Mike goes home, and then we get the most sad scene of the movie. So apparently Mike gives in and calls Aunt Jane the babysitter. Of course, Abby doesn't like that because, you know, both Mike and Abby don't like Aunt Jane, but Mike didn't have a choice this time. So Mike actually went during the day. So this is technically night 5. So he takes his sleeping pills, but something was off about the dream sequence. So when Mike went to that dream sequence, everything is happy. Like, Garrett's alive and his parents are there, and they want him to join for dinner. And then we get the horrible twist. The kids want Abby. They want to kill Abby. Why? Well, I'll tell you in just a minute. Like, I mean, Mike pulls a really jerk move when he was willing to give up Abby for Garrett. I mean, he changes his mind immediately. And then he wakes up strapped when the Torture Freddy mask was about to hit him, but he was able to escape. Like, originally I thought, like, Golden Freddy and Abby were gonna rescue Mike from the Torture Freddy machine, but he was able to escape on his own. And then we get the victims! Stuffed in the Sparky, the Torture Freddy, Shadow Freddy. Yes, Shadow Freddy's in the movie, but I mean, I couldn't tell it was Shadow Freddy because my buddy GTA Gamer thought it was the purple guy animatronic hoax, but I mean, it was really hard to make out. So Mike was able to escape the pizzeria, and then we finally get some backstory from Vanessa. But before we did, Golden Freddy enters the scene. He kills Aunt Jane, and then he takes Abby to a taxi cab where Corey X Kenshin was going to drive them. I will admit, Golden Freddy was only seen for like a short time, but I could be forgiving towards it because, you know, Golden Freddy rarely appears in FNAF 1 and he's an Easter egg character. So, yeah. So the Golden Freddy kid was possessing Golden Freddy. Even though, the only thing I wish they could have done is have Golden Freddy just be in his sitting pose, like he's sitting down all limp. But instead he was able to get up and walk on its own, so, yeah. So, So we finally get to Mike and Vanessa. Vanessa rescued Mike, patched him up. So it turns out the animatronics want to kill Abby because they wanted to make her like them. William Afton, like I was right. William Afton has control of the animatronics. I was somewhat right. William Afton lied to the kids. He manipulated them, saying, "Oh, the humans are the ones that killed you. Go kill them. You should be mad at them." And they didn't save you either. They did it. I took you to your happiest day and all that jazz. And Vanessa knew about Garrett's death. Like, I was shocked about that. And as an insult to injury, William Afton gave Vanessa Garrett's toy plane, which is really messed up. So now Mike has to gear up to save Abby, with using electric tasers and all that. So the animatronics are performing, and thankfully Mike showed up just in time. Chica was about to stuff Abby into a springlock suit, like ready to kill her. Eventually Mike shows up and saves her. So yeah. Man. Now we're getting on to the part where my theater blew up. So Mike gets attacked by the cupcake while Abby runs away. Foxy was about to go hunt her down. Mike was able to taste the cupcake. And then the part where my theater blew up. They were applauding, they were clapping. It was insane. Spring Bonnie shows up. Like, I was like, oh shoot! Spring Bonnie's here with William Afton! My whole theater was roaring in applause. It was insane. But then what really shocked me is like William Afton just goes berserk. He runs, he kicks him, he punches him. Like, holy crap! I'm not sure if that's against the Springlock rules. Are you supposed to move very slowly? Or you can go fast, just don't sweat, or else you'll get springlocked. I don't get the springlock rules. So yeah, Vanessa rescues Foxy, and oh yeah, plot twist, Vanessa is William Afton's daughter. I was a bit iffy on that. Like what? Vanessa is William Afton's daughter. I guess they completely changed the story in the movie. Like, probably because, FNAF 4 to Security Breach did not exist by the time it was being written. So, yeah. Unless Vanessa's real name is Elizabeth Afton. But then again, Elizabeth should have been killed by Baby by now. I mean, I don't really get this. So, is this a new sibling to Elizabeth, Evan, and Michael? Or do they not exist in this movie? I'm so confused. I was really confused. But she wasn't evil. I can't really say she wasn't evil. William kind of messed her up good. Like she's afraid to tell people because if she does, then William might kill her. Vanessa ain't no Elizabeth, but movie lore ain't game lore. Yeah, I understand that. William removes his mask to reveal Matthew Lillard as William Afton, aka Steve Raglan. I mean, I was not really surprised about that, because we all knew Matthew Lillard is William Afton anyway, because it was confirmed, way back before the movie started filming. But, yeah. I mean, some people were pretty surprised. There was, non-FNAF fans, okay, I know you guys are gonna be F the critics. I mean, the critics are not always wrong. Some of them were right, because there's gonna be some people who don't know what FNAF is, and they would be lost really quickly. Really quickly. So, Mike knows the truth. The Yellow Bunny, or William Afton, killed the children possessing the animatronics, so Mike gets Abby to draw what really happened and show the animatronics who really killed them. And then we get the most epic scenes in the movie. After Abby finished the drawing, the animatronics turned on William. Oh! And then I was like, you're getting springlocks, my guy! What I found funny is that the cupcake triggers the springlocks by biting into his suit. And we saw a bit of detail. Like, the spring locks, like, went through William's stomach. Like, oh! Like, that had to hurt. And the animatronics were just staring him down as he dies in the springlock suit. And then, before he puts on this mask, he says the iconic line, "I always come back." He said the line. Again, my theater blew up. So, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that William stabbed Vanessa because Vanessa went against William. He didn't want William to kill Abby. Maybe Afton remarried after his wife disappeared because I'm under assumption he got remarried after his wife left him. It could be possible, but I really don't know. So after William gets spring-locked, the whole pizzeria collapses, and the animatronics just drag William's body away, which is a good reference to the books. I forgot to mention that Foxy hunting Abby by the arcade, that's also a reference to the Silver Eyes. So yeah, Abby's mental health is like all better now. Like she was able to play normally, and she's not really drawing much anymore, which is good. And then we get a cute scene where like Mike was like, "Oh, tough. It's not a tough choice. You want pizza or spaghetti for dinner?" It was nice. And then the final scene, we get the Golden Freddy child watching William as he's still getting spring locked. And then I was like, that is not the end of William. We're gonna see Springtrap in the sequel. And when the door closed, the Living Tombstone FNAF song started playing. My whole theater blew up at that. They were applauding. "We're waiting every night to finally Roman invite." It was insane. It was great. So, there's a post-credit scene where Corey Kitchen gets jump-scared by the Balloon Boy figure. But if you stay at the very end, you can hear the Grandfather Clock song, which is the puppet's music box. And then we hear some secret text saying, "Come find me," while spelling "come find me." So, it is hinting that there's going to be a sequel, or prequel. Like, what do you guys think? Is the FNAF movie 2 going to be a prequel with the toys and the wizards? Or is it going to be a sequel like the Twisted Ones or something? I don't know. It's a huge honor that Living Tombstone made it in. Yes, it is. It really is. Okay, so yeah, that was all the spoilers for the FNAF movie. All the Easter eggs and all of the stories. Now, for a FNAF movie, I would rate this a solid 9 out of 10. It was great. For a horror movie, I mean, as people feared, it was not that scary, but I can forgive it. Most because, like, the games were never visually graphic and gory. Except the chomping decapitation scene. That was pretty gory. I will say the movie gave me a bit of a Coraline feel. Like the first 3 nights. No, 4 nights actually. The first 4 nights, nothing bad happened. Like the animatronics were friendly and nice to Abby, Mike, and Elizabeth. Vanessa, sorry, Vanessa. The animatronics were nice to Vanessa, Mike, and Abby. They were having a great time. But then when it gets to night 5, bad stuff started happening. I can see why this would really remind me of Coraline. Like, what do you guys think? Does this movie remind you of Coraline? Well, I mean, as its tone and its story-wise. Like, the first 4 nights were great until the last night things started going bad. I saw on Twitter that it will be a sequel. Oh. So we're not going to see the toys and the wizards. Why do they always not respect the wizards? It would be awesome to see the Jim Henson Creature Shop do the withered animatronics. Like, my boy Withered Bonnie! Faceless Withered Bonnie! For a horror movie, it's a great way to ease younger or even squeamish people into the horror genre. Yeah. The entire thing just left me on edge. Nothing happened, but you just feel like something was going to happen. Yeah, I'm one of those people. Like, you feel like someone's gonna die, and then boom, it happened. I think tone-wise, I can kind of see Coraline. Yeah, tone-wise. Like, I mean, not really story, because there are no animatronics in another world. But I meant, like I said, nothing bad happens for the first few nights, and then on night 5, bad stuff started happening. Maybe the sequel will be longer runtime. Maybe. And probably, if the sequel does happen, it probably won't stream on Peacock on the same day. At least, I don't think so. No toys and wizards? You gotta be joking. Yeah. Yeah, like, despite the plot point with Vanessa being William Afton's daughter, I still had a freaking blast. I had a blast. I already wanted it to come out on Blu-ray. Which I'm going to bet is going to be coming out around the holidays. Or unless it's going to be releasing in January. I mean, I think they will give the Nightmare animatronics an appearance in Mike's Nightmares. Ooh, the Nightmares. That'll be cool to see. So yeah, I guess that's it for my review of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. This movie is a must-watch. If you're a hardcore FNAF fan, go see it. You would enjoy it. Like, a big great job to Jason Blum, Scott Cawthon, Jim Henson Creature Shop, Emma Tammy, all those people. They did a great job. And great job to Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard, Piper Rubio, Elizabeth Lale, and Mary Stuart Masterson. They did an amazing job with the acting. And a good job to the YouTube cameos. I mean, MatPat was the only one who did some acting, as well as Corey Kenshin, but Dawko, 8-Bit Ryan, and Raz were just like pictures on a Employee of the Month sign. So yeah, they did an amazing job. So yeah, if you skip this part of the live stream, you missed a lot of stuff. But don't worry, you can rewatch this live stream after you've seen the movie. Screw Willy's Wonderland. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Banana Splits movie or Willy's Wonderland. So has your opinion on the Red Eyes changed? Well, I mean, I never really mind the Red Eyes. In fact, the Red Eyes didn't show up until the very end of the movie. I forgot to mention that. Like, their eyes were orange throughout the whole thing. Well, yeah. Yeah. They were orange throughout the whole movie. And the Red Eyes didn't show up till the very end. Here's the thing. Critics don't really understand the magic of video game movies. Yes, I heavily disagree with the critics. The same thing happened with the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and I think the same thing happened with the Sonic movies, too. Will you redesign your character as a movie version of your real-life self? I'm not really sure about it, but I am thinking about getting a redesign, though. Yeah, because if I remove my hat and my scarf, I'll just look like Bonnie, so I am thinking about getting a redesign. I'll keep you guys updated when that happens. The critics aren't real fans. Well, actually, I mean, it's not just the critics. There's like some people who don't like the FNAF movie, but the FNAF community tends to get a little toxic because Jacksepticeye, he didn't like the movie, and I respect his opinion on that. But then the FNAF fans decide to be jerks and harass him, which is not cool. You're allowed to have an opinion. If you don't like the movie, then that's fine. I respect that. You don't have to like the movie if you don't want to. There are people who are going to like it, and people are going to hate it. It's not a big deal. Like, I swear, the FNAF community these days are easily offended. It didn't pay enough attention to the games. It just slapped Sonic and friends into the real world. Okay, well, I can sorta agree with that. At least I still had a fun time with Sonic 1 and 2. And I am excited for Sonic 3 and the Knuckles the Echidna show. Do you think the Springlock failure was rushed? Personally, no. I honestly found that scene epic. Like I said, the animatronics just stared him down. I'm no longer in the spoiler section. I should probably switched. There. But anyway, yeah, Jacksepticeye got harassed by toxic FNAF fans because he didn't like the movie, which is the most stupid reason ever. Like I said, you're allowed to have an opinion. If you don't like the FNAF movie, then that's okay. You don't have to like it. Who cares? It's crazy how Rotten Tomatoes score of 90% from the FNAF fans is freaking amazing, so I'm really happy with that. Yeah, I'm more on the audience side than the tomato meter. Like, yeah, I always disagree with the critics. Like, yeah. By the way, did you think Ruin saved Security Breach? Kinda. I mean, it's a massive step up from the main game. And I still like Security Breach, and I can't wait to see what Steel Will has next for Help Wanted 2. Which, by the way, guys, I'm currently saving up for a VR headset, so I might be able to play the game when it comes out. So yeah. I wish Spring Bonnie got more screen time. Maybe, if FNAF 2 is a prequel, then maybe we could see a Spring Bonnie appearance when he's all clean and stuff. Maybe Fredbear's Family Diner. Scott returns one more time. Well, I mean, Scott kind of lied about his retirement. Like, he still made that troll game, and he's still coming out on Reddit, so yeah. Some people that I know don't like the movie. They're probably critics themselves. Well, or they're just not FNAF fans. They're just not FNAF fans. And that's fine. Like I said, if they don't like it, then that's fine. I respect your opinion. I bet you're excited for the FNAF 2 movie in the future. I am. I want a sequel to be made. But I bet that's probably not going to be coming out for another 8 years or something, since the first one was in massive development hell. Have you watched... Henry Stickmin, I'm like reviewing the movie right now. Of course I've seen it. How do you think I went through all the spoilers and the non-spoilers? Oh boy. Are you going to do a playthrough of Mr. President? What? I don't know what that is. If you don't like it, that's fine. Yeah, that is fine. But anyways, yes. The FNAF movie is a must-watch for hardcore FNAF fans. You would love it. Okay, I guess that's it for HAZAH Talk Live. Thank you all for coming. Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, I had to get out a cough. Because I've been rambling for like 47 minutes now. Some of them are FNAF fans and some don't like it. But some that I know do like the movie. That's good. Hey, I'm just looking at the chat one last time. Well, if you think about it, Blumhouse films movies for 2 months. It shouldn't take long for a sequel. I mean, it's not Blum. Oh, excuse me. It's not Blumhouse that was making the movie so long. It was Scott. Like, he tried very, very hard to write a perfect script for the FNAF movie. He wanted it to be good. He is well aware that the FNAF movie is not going to be perfect, but if anything, I'm proud of him. Scott should be proud of himself for making the movie come to life on the big screen. Like, he brought his own IPs to the big screen, which is a big dream come true for him. Like, he went from like, oh, I'm going to quit game development forever because people didn't like Chipper and Sons, to the most successful game of all time, Five Nights at Freddy's. It got so successful, it got books, it got merch, and now it got a movie. And now we're getting Help Wanted 2 later at the end of this year. So yeah, I give the FNAF movie a 9 out of 10. The second movie is in pre-production. Well, I really hope they'll take the criticisms that I mentioned and make it better. Also, have the animatronics talk in the sequel. I would love that. If you don't have a VR headset, how did you do what you did for Bonnie Foxy Roommate Show? What I'm using right now, I use my webcam. This is a VTuber model. Like, it tracks my camera face. Like, when I move, it moves. But anyways, yes, I am saving up for a VR headset so I can play the new Help Wanted 2 game. I might also get a link cable too. So I should probably get that. And also, I'll make better VR chat videos with it. So if Michael Afton doesn't exist in the movie, does that mean Vanessa was originally supposed to be William Afton's daughter? And was this storyline the original one before FNAF 4? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Okay, I think I've rambled long enough. Okay, no, actually, before I go, I am gonna take a break from videos for a few days, just a few days, so I can plan the next projects. I'm currently working on something. I'm not gonna say what it is yet, because I don't know if it's ready to be announced yet. I really don't know yet. As for the Mr. Ellen 9 arc, if you guys are wondering where that finale is, we're working on it. It's just I'm just stuck on some parts of planning everything out. So I'm probably gonna make a filler episode of it, which is gonna be like a flashback of how Mr. L met 9, how Mario got kidnapped by the Egg Council. Like, it's gonna be a flashback episode. So yeah. And Bonnie and Foxy react to the FNAF Movie Set Part 2. That will be coming. We just gotta find a good time to record it. Oh, hey, Nova! You lost the game. Ah! Nova! How you doing, buddy? He's working on losing the game. I lost it! I lost the game! Oh my god. Hey, Corey, what if William Afton is not human? He is the Terminator. Termination. Oh, hi, Nico. Oh god, like, oh god, people are already showing up the very last minute when I'm about to end the stream. You guys already missed the stream, guys. I just finished it. Like, I'm right about to say the outro and say goodbye. I'm sorry, guys. Love. Whoa! Jamel Timmies, thank you very much for the $19 donation. Wow. Is that how I say your name? Jamal Timmies? Jamal Timmies. Yeah. Thank you very much for the $20 donation. Thank you very much. Wow. Alright, have a good night / day. Thank you. Okay, everyone, say goodbye. Alright, guys, thank you all so much for watching HAZAH Talk Live. Please subscribe to the channel for more content coming up. And, I'll guys keep you updated of what's going on when it comes to projects. And, yeah. Yeah.